Who the is Vecna?
Oh god, I hope this isn't giving anything away.
And why is he attacking all of these teens in Hawkins? We will be diving into how Vecna kills, his backstory, and of course his relationship with these other villains from the alternate dimension that has been haunting Hawkins for so long. If you're trying to avoid that, look away now.
Even if you're trying to avoid spoilers, just watch it anyway.
Why would I say that though? Okay. Hit pause on this video, watch the season, and then come back.
Or else.
Or else.
I said go away!
The first time we see Vecna, it's with the student, Chrissy, who's a new character this season. We see her in the bathroom and she starts to hear voices. And the next thing we know, we see these giant feet that probably belong to Vecna appear from underneath the bathroom door.
How long to kick in?
Chrissy goes to Eddie's trailer to buy some drugs and is killed in the worst possible way. It is so violent and mortifying. We can't show you this probably according to YouTube guidelines, but instead we'll show you a reaction of Aaron watching the video.
That was gross.
In the following episodes, we see more of Vecna claiming victims in very similar ways. His next target, who is Nancy's partner at the Hawkins High School newspaper. Fred also begins to see visions, including that creepy grandfather clock. And then the next thing we know, very unfortunate end for Fred.
Because he's a murderer.
He's not a murderer. At this point, some patterns are clearly emerging about how Vecna kills and what happens to his targets. These teens clearly have past trauma. They see visions, they see the grandfather clock, and also later on when Max looks into the notes of her school counselor who has been seeing some of these students, she also finds the trends of headaches, nosebleeds, nightmares, which Max also has been experiencing.
These dark thoughts are kind of like eating away at her, and it's the thing that, you know, she doesn't want anyone to find out, but it also happens to be what Vecna feeds off of, so she feels really exposed and vulnerable. I mean, of course this asshole curses me.
Thankfully, her friends are trying to find the secrets to Vecna and how to defeat him.
Get over here.
And a lot of this work is done by Robin and Nancy, who we are so excited to see team up this season, while they visit Victor Creole.
Whatever killed your family, we think it's back.
And this is the person who, in 1959, his house was haunted, allegedly by demons, and his family was murdered. Victor describes what exactly happened to his house all those years ago. His wife was killed, his daughter was killed, and what seemed to be the secret of him breaking free from whatever demon was haunting his house was through the voice of an angel.
I heard another voice.
Which Robin and Nancy decide that is music.
What's your favorite song? Why?
This is where her friends are furiously searching for her favorite song to play so that she can escape from this trance.
Now!
Thankfully, they do just in time, but also why was it such a high effort experience for her to hear the music and still have to attack Vecna and then sprint while debris was falling around all over her and then finally escape? Who else was about to tear up when they played the montage of all of Max's friendships, you know, her time with Eleven, and of course, her relationship with Lucas? I truly was about to cry. Did you cry? How is Vecna different from the other villains from the Upside Down?
Yeah, the Demogorgon, you know, was like this wild rabid dog that was, you know, attacking people, where Vecna is intelligent and he's smart and he gets into your deepest fears and dreams.
He seems to be able to create these psychic links with his victims, even without the presence of a gate. And also later on we realize that he actually opens gates with every kill he makes, which is absolutely terrifying. The Demogorgon and also the Demodogs, they attack whatever is in their way, and there didn't seem to be much of a pattern through their kills.
They're both pretty terrifying, but for me personally, I think Vecna is slightly more disturbing and menacing and invasive.
I said who's there!
As for the Mind Flayer, he also needed to grow stronger with physical links to different humans, and that's why he possessed people like Will and Billy in seasons 2 and 3 of Stranger Things, and that's how he was able to build an army of the Flayed. The Max was in the trance, she saw what appeared to be Vecna's headquarters. When she drew out the different scenes she saw,
Is this what you saw last night?
Nancy figured out that it looked exactly like parts of Victor Creole's house. And then it turns out Vecna is actually Victor Creole's son, Henry.
I know what it's like.
At the Hawkins lab, Henry is telling Eleven about his backstory. Once they moved to this new house in Hawkins, Henry, as a kid, he did not fit in. Henry realized that he has telekinesis and he starts practicing his powers on the creatures and animals in his house. Remember when Victor Creole said that a demon was hurting and mutilating creatures around their house? Yeah, it turns out that it was not a demon and it was actually Kid Henry. Very scary.
This is why I don't want kids. Like, what if you have a Henry?
No! While Victor Creole was a little clueless about what was happening, Henry says that his mom figured out that he had some connection to do with these deaths around the house and wanted to send him away to heal him. And to stop her from doing that, Henry decides to kill his mom. And because he was not able to control his powers well, he passed out and went into a coma. Victor actually thinks that Henry died a week later, but what actually happened was Henry wakes up from his coma with none other than Dr. Brenner next to him. This is the doctor that he was trying to escape from, but then now Henry actually becomes test subject number 1 at Hawkins' lab. In this 7th episode, we also find out how exactly Henry, or 1, transformed into Vecna.
Come with me.
1 really wanted 11 to leave with him, but 11 started to fight against him. They had this showdown, and 11 had the upper hand and actually sent him to the Upside Down with her powers.
The power of Scream.
The power of Scream. What?
Oh, that's like when she's like super powerful is when she's screaming.
After 1 is pushed into the Upside Down by 11, he is struck by lightning and then his body begins to transform into what appears to be Vecna now. We don't know why this happens because thus far everyone who has entered to the Upside Down have maintained their physical forms, do not look different. So what exactly is happening here? Is it because of 11's powers that 1 begins to transform into Vecna, or is it because of something else?
One thing we've never understood.
What is Vecna's ultimate goal here? Dustin's theory is that the Mind Flayer is the big boss of the Upside Down, and the Demogorgon and Vecna are both working for him.
If the Demogorgon was just his foot soldier, Vecna's his 5-star general.
Season 4 Part 1 ends without addressing whether Dustin's theory is correct and whether the Mind Flayer is in fact the big boss of the Upside Down.
I could do more than I possibly imagine.
Some questions we have in this current moment, and trust me, we have a lot of questions. First, why is Vecna appearing now? If he was in the Upside Down 4 years before Will was taken, what was he up to in those years? It's possible that the Mind Flayer had Vecna on the bench because gates were open. Now that at least the gate in Hawkins is closed, is this why Vecna is finally appearing? We've been led to believe the Mind Flayer is the one who controls the Upside Down and is the one with the other creatures working for him. But could it be that Vecna is actually the big boss of the Upside Down? Why was Nancy the one that Vecna decided to prevent from going back to the human world? And then another important question, why is the Upside Down frozen in time on the day that Will was kidnapped?
What are you doing in here?
Will we know more of Vecna's motivations in part 2 of season 4, which drops in July? I hope so. Okay. And also, who do you think is the one controlling the Upside Down? And how is this all related to 11, who we hope will get her powers back in the last 2 episodes? Don't forget to subscribe to TV Guide, and we will have more breakdowns from moments of your favorite shows.